when we watch movies, I don't know about you, but I used to watch movies a lot in my earlier years of life. And when you watch those romantic comedy movies where they brainwashed us to thinking love was what is not, but that's not what I'm even going into now. At the end of whatever, we assume, okay, maybe two people wanted to be with each other, they had obstacles, one had issues, or somebody did not agree for them to get married. But whatever, within that 2 hours, they overcame the challenge, and at the end, mostly with certain a particular movie brand, they get to write and they live happily ever after. So how many of you have seen things like that? Yeah, you are right. You are right. Yeah. Happily ever after. That's what they get to show. And what that means is that, or what that I used to think that meant was, that was the end of the issue. All they just had was bliss. Everything just went smoothly. And that's what marriage is supposed to be like. You get married and everything just goes well. What's the challenge? You've beaten this singleness. You've been able to figure out who God wants you to marry. You've been able to deal with all those stages. Now you've done your wedding, and now you are married. In this part of the world, you get to wear this ring, and you are like, I have a ring on my finger. What could go wrong? But things doesn't always work like that. Things will not always work like that. Bad things doesn't need to happen that would change the rhythm of your intimacy in your marriage. Life could get busy. Things could happen. Somebody could travel to a distant place. Work schedules could be more demanding in a particular season. So what happens to your intimacy when you have such a challenging season? So today, we're exploring intimacy in challenging seasons in your marriage. Intimacy in challenging seasons. We're exploring what do you do? How do you maintain intimacy when you are married? How do you stay with the person that you are married and don't turn into roommates because a particular season of life is playing out when you are together? How do you deal with it? How do you come out of it? How do you stay on top of your game intimately together even through those seasons of life? I first encountered this season in my marriage immediately after the birth of my first daughter. During my wife's pregnancy, we didn't have intimacy issues. But immediately my first daughter came, and I was told we needed to wait for 6 weeks. I didn't even know that, and that was my bad. I did a lot of reading about pregnancy, a whole lot. I did a lot of reading with my wife. The only thing I didn't do was to learn how to help my wife pace her breathing when she was going to deliver her baby. But I also didn't read about anything after the baby was born. I didn't think it was going to be a problem because we were having intimacy well, our bonding was good during the pregnancy period. But I found out after my first daughter arrived that, shoot, we're supposed to say 6 weeks. So, came back from the hospital 2 days later, and 1 week is passing, and it's looking like, what's going on here? 1 month is about coming. 1 month, 2 weeks plus. And I'm wondering, what's happening? What are you saying? Then I'm reading, and I'm told medically you need to wait for 6 weeks. And for some women, it takes more than 6 weeks. Psychologically, because I was in the the, the labor room with my wife, and I literally saw my baby came out. I had not even dealt with what that would be for me psychologically or my wife, but I mean, it happened. So what did we do, and what can you do? You know, sometimes it could be illnesses. Yes, we believe as Christians to stay strong and healthy, but sometimes in your journey, one person could take ill, and the illness has made them physically unable to do some things for a period. Sometimes it could be intense work schedule. You know, physically work might take one person to another place, and work might cause another person to go somewhere else. So you need to understand that these seasons of life happens in marriage, not the ones that were orchestrated by one person inability to take responsibility for some area of their life. It is just part of the rhythms of life, and when this happen, it might affect your intimacy. So you need to be aware that this will happen, and you need to be aware on how you will deal with it. And if you're a single person, this is a good time for you to remember that the fact that being single and God is telling you to abstain from sex, and you are supposed to build emotional, psychological connection that will help cushion the effect of physical sex. This is to remind you that this is a reason why you need to learn that. If you did not even learn these foundations at all when you are single, it will be way more challenging for you to learn this foundation when you are married. And of course, like you know, sex is a covenant, and a covenant, or like you should know, sex is a covenant, and a covenant usually never happens with only one individual. Covenants usually happen between two individuals. So if you are in covenant with your partner, it means you are always, I repeat, you are always supposed to have sex with your partner. So there's no way you can consider, or you can consider masturbation. You can't consider sex toys. You can't consider all that thing. You can. You do have the ability of choice. But if living and experiencing the fullness of how God created sex, marriage to thrive, and if you don't want to open doors for cracks in your marriage, or you just want to seal the doors that might be open before, then you need to learn how to navigate those seasons. You need to learn how to navigate those seasons. So you need to start exploring alternative forms of intimacy. What did we even do? We spoke about this season. 2 weeks in, we had to sit down and talk about this season. What's going on? We haven't even looked at each other intimately for 2 weeks. I know we've been looking about how the baby, how she's faring, is she sleeping okay? But what about us? How are we faring? Are we sleeping okay? The joy of our arrival cannot now be the source of crack for the intimacy of our marriage. The fact that we have a better job and a tighter schedule cannot now be the source of cracks in our marriage. So we had that discussion. What's going on with you mentally? How during that? And in that conversation, I found out that my wife was also psychologically not ready. She was not even thinking about it at all. All of her mind had been taken up by the time by just the well-being of her child. Is the child okay? Is the child breathing fine? Is the novel going to drop okay? Is everything fine? You know, 3 days into the birth of my child, we found out that she had jaundice. We stayed in the hospital for 3 more days. So, I mean, intimacy was kind of not the thing on our mind at the time. But we had to have the conversation. This thing is, we can't let this thing happen. So what do we do? You need to still look at me. You need to see me. Yeah, my body is in no way ready for this intimacy, but we need to maintain spiritual and emotional intimacy. We need to maintain psychological intimacy. Okay, so what do I need? What do you need also? Oh, now I know you're the one going to work more. Okay, but how can I help you at work? Now that you're back and you're tired, how can I spend another 30 minutes extra? How can I reserve 30 minutes more energy just for you in this season? Because while this season we're navigating together, we can't let it be the source of crack in our marriage. And it can't be a source of blackmail for the person who still desires intimacy. Your marriage should be safe enough to have the conversation. What did we do? We started making adjustments in that season. Our physical intimacy changed. It changed for the next 3 weeks. So for 3 months, we couldn't have physical intimacy, but we had connection with ourselves. We had connection with ourselves. We adjusted how we were talking. We adjusted moments where we're just not going to think about the baby. This moment was for you. If this person is sick, we had moments where we just stayed in spiritual connection. We had the moments where we could stroke each other. Yeah, we can't have physical intimacy, sex now, but we could stroke each other. But it cannot be something that is left within your imaginary thoughts and something that is discussed with somebody that cannot do anything about it. Discussing it with friends isn't the solution to this season. Discussing it with your spouse unashamedly is the way to go. And the other party do not have the right to judge the other person. You have to find a way to go around it. So, one person needs to practice patience. Because for one person, in our case, in my own experience, one person is physically not there. She can't handle it. It can't happen. No penetration is going to happen. She's seriously bleeding. I can't even handle it. And I don't want to inflict pain on her. I don't want to even discomfort her the more. So physically, our body can't handle it. But we're beginning to talk about the psychological part. But I don't want to inflict more pain on the pain that she's still experiencing. One person is sick and down, and I don't want to get them there to make the drugs. One time somebody told me how they were very sick on drugs and serious antibiotics, and they went to have sex and they couldn't move the next day. So my job is to be able to serve the other person. So I don't want the fact that I need servicing myself to be at the expense of pain and harm to the other person. So I need to exercise patience. But I need to know how long my patience is for. Patience is not waiting without doing anything. So we're having conversation. Then I need to be a little bit more active in some other thing. I need to use that season to also engage in some other thing, to not lose who I am. You need to also cultivate emotional intelligence to be able to carry discussion effectively. So you need to know when to bring up the little intimate discussion. Yeah, because you can't have physical sex for 6 weeks do not mean that you can't have bonding for the 6 weeks. Oh, because the children have just stormed. You got 3 children at once do not mean one person needs to stay starving forever. Or do not mean they should not even know when you will be ready. So you need to have the conversation with them. So emotional intelligence is your ability to recognize and understand what you are feeling and why you are feeling the way you are feeling and be able to communicate it. It is also your ability to understand what the other person is feeling, why they are feeling what they are feeling, and your ability to manage what they are communicating based on what they are doing. So because you have an emotional intelligence, it reduces the way you speak to the other person harshly. Your anger is even dealt with ahead of time. Your anger is dealt with ahead of time. You have no reason to be angry because, you are aware of what's going on this season. And because you are aware of what's going on this season, your self-control mechanism, which is, by the way, a fruit of the Spirit, is played out. So you have self-control. So though you desire a person physically, but you are aware of the season, and your emotional intelligence to say, okay, I'm exercising self-control while I'm being patient with you. But in our physical, the fact that we have a physical distance is not taken away from our emotional, mental, and spiritual connection and bond. Those things are still in play for the day where you can now physically bond. Because you will physically bond, but you want to create a structure where what you have is still in play until that day comes. So you have to serve your spouse. You've developed patience. Your bond is going on in every other area. Then you keep serving your spouse. Even the person who is having the season is also serving the other person. So there's patience from one party who knows I need to give this other person time so that they could be ready physically. But you who is enjoying that patience to be ready for time, you are also willing to serve the other person in other areas. You are willing to find out what they want to do. You are willing to help them make meals. You are willing to do other things that helps them work together. This other person is also serving you in other areas. You are serving each other. Marriage, again, is a place for mutuality. So you are serving each other, you're serving each other, you're serving each other, serving each other, serving each other, serving each other. Then you are also going to have to maintain romance without pressure. You know, I see so many videos nowadays online where you see something like the moment me and my husband wants to cuddle, the next thing is sex, like penetrative sex. Or the moment they buy you flower, penetrative sex. Or what's everywhere is just like there's a kiss on your head. No. Romance doesn't have to have an end goal. So you better practice this before you get to the season where the rhythm of your marriage has changed and it will demand that you withdraw. So you need to practice romance without an agenda. The reason why you are buying her ice cream is not to spoil Eko in the night. That's too cheap. That's too cheap of a motivation to be what will get your wife in the mood. And that's the reason. So you have to be willing to serve, but you have to practice romance. Send tips. Oh, she just gave to bed. Oh, you look beautiful post-pregnancy. Never seen a woman that has just given birth 2 weeks and this is pretty. See how handsome you look at the decks. So hardworking and charming. Oh, I know you're not thinking about this right now, but me, I'm thinking about you. You know, how can you be this graceful and so beautiful, yet you're not feeling fine? You might even be looking more beautiful when you are sick, but I know it's better for you to be healthy. You have to be able to practice romance without agenda. Be willing to hold them for a very long period of time. Hold them. Hug for an hour without having an erection. Or you can have it and let it be there. Nothing else is going to happen. You know? Have you heard of French kiss before? Or whatever it is. My definition of French kiss is that illegal kiss you used to have when you were dating people and you were kissing for 1 hour because you didn't know how to have sex. Kiss for a long period of time without wanting to have penetration. Have foul plays. Have it a lot. Have it every time you can. Spank the person, hug them. Do the things to keep it going. Do the things to keep it going. Then celebrate yourself with other things. You know, one of the tests of this season that comes to your marriage is to prove how well-rounded your marriage is. If the only time you get to have intimacy is just getting to the bedroom, it's going to show in this season. So one of the things that happen in this season is that there's proof that you can celebrate laughing together, working together, just being in the room. You know, you can celebrate different victory. You have memories. You can dance with your spouse. I'm telling you to dance with your spouse. Go on YouTube, find a dance video to a song. Commit to learning a dance routine with your spouse for the next 1-2 months. Dance, find something. I will learn this move. When you come, we'll practice. Pick an hobby together with the person. Pick your hobby together with the person. Dance with them. Find a thing you want to. Find a movie. Find a series you watch together. Find a skill you will learn together. Use the season and enjoy all the other well-rounded things that keeps your bond going till you are able to go back to have penetrative sex. Touch them. Touch them. Touch them. I'm telling you to touch them. Your body is not ready, but your mind will be ready. Your body is not ready, but your emotions will be ready. Touch them. Because intimacy is not about just physical connection, but intimacy is really about showing up for each other in every season. They are far away. Call them on the phone. Talk. Talk till the passion burns out. Stay there. Have the conversation. The passion will come and it will burn out. It will come outside. This week, regardless of the season you are in your marriage, find a romantic avenue that you will do with your spouse that would not involve physical penetration. Serve them romantically without physical penetration. Engage them. Be with them. Hold them. Do a dance course together. Learn salsa. Learn a bit of hip-hop. Spin them around. Do it for 1 week. Always have the dance. What do they need? Just provide it every day. Communicate with them. Hold them for at least 10 minutes. Just hold them. Just hold them. Just hold them for 10 minutes. No agenda. We are going to have seasons where the rhythms will change. So use the seasons where the rhythms have not changed for that season. If you are in that season now, the first thing you need to do is to have proper communication. Sit down and have a communication with them. Talk to them about how you're feeling. Talk to them about what's going on in your mind. Have that communication. Because intimacy in challenging season is one of the things I didn't prepare for in my marriage, but we dealt with it. But you can be prepared for it before it comes and after it has come. Things will happen. Many positive things will happen. It doesn't even need to be negative for you to have a change of rhythm in your intimacy in your marriage. But you can go through that season skillfully, come out of the other side, and it will feel like how you guys just got married again. When you're ready for physical sex, it will just feel like, did you just start having sex again for the first time? But it will be a combination of all those things. If you don't, the moment you try to have physical sex first, before this happening, you would discover that it is going to be empty. it's going to be empty. It's going to be void of the richness. Something you have waited so long for will just be like, is this it? Your physical body will climax, but every other thing will be empty. So your ability to maintain intimacy and connection even when there's a challenging season in your marriage would help you greatly in maintaining the bond you guys have. This is Love with Ini, and I hope this helps you with one thing in your marriage. Till we see you again next week. Bye bye.